Hi everybody, it's Josh with Talk About Trek, and I'm back, and I have just now, a few moments ago, finished up The Empty Chair. Yes, the finale to the Rihannsu Saga is finally complete. And man, it was worth the wait. What an excellent book. And I just want to point out that look how beat up this book got during this read. And I'm just going to attribute it to the fact that it was just that good and that exciting that I literally had to just take it apart while I was reading it, apparently. But anyway, The Empty Chair, like I said, the finale to the Rihannsu Saga, coming in at a whopping 422 pages, published in 2006, of course, by Diane Duane. Completes the saga, completes the dang cliffhanger that I was left on, but and kind of left me thinking. I was left on a cliffhanger for maybe like a week and a half. Everyone else who read this as it came out, they were hanging on for something like 6 years before they could get the finale to this saga. So I guess I shouldn't complain too much. But anyway, we have the culmination of a saga 22 years in the making. They call themselves Rihannsu, the Declared. To the Federation, they are the Romulans. By any name, they are the adversaries as formidable as they are inscrutable. Self-exiled from Vulcan in ages past, they retain an ancient martial philosophy and code of conduct that has sustained them through centuries of hardship, warfare, and thwarted ambition. Now their empire is gearing for war once again, armed with the revolutionary Sunseed technology, which can destabilize entire stars. A Romulan vessel is warping toward the heart of the Federation. Its target, Earth's sun. But this offensive comes at a perilous time, as a growing number of Romulan worlds are joining a revolution, one led by the renegade commander Al Trawalu of the warbird Bloodwing, with the aid of Captain James T. Kirk of the Starship Enterprise and the Homolki scientist Kasilk, the Federation's foremost authority on Sunseek technology. As the threat to Earth looms even larger, Bloodwing and Enterprise lead an armada toward the Romulan homeworld for a final reckoning that will decide the future of the Rihannsu people. Good back. It doesn't give you like too much, kind of builds it up, makes it exciting. I like that, not too bad. So, I guess first, before we just dive into full-on ranting about the book for the next 15 to 20 minutes or so, let's just do kind of a non-spoilery review. So, this whole saga really, I think, gives like the greatest insight into the Romulan people that you're going to get anywhere in Trek, at least as far as I know. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm willing to take this as the canon Romulan, existence, how they came about. Because it's all just stories and it's all just fun anyway. And this is just all so well done. And then when you take this and then you think about what happens with Star Trek Picard, with the Romulan supernova and all of that, it really makes this whole history of this people just kind of very tragic and is really something to think about. So a really, really fun saga. 5 books in total, spanning, I think what they say, over something like 20 years that she wrote it. But just really, really so well done. And just an excellent look at Star Trek from like a different perspective almost, because so much of this is just taking place within the Romulan Empire. So, can't say enough good things about it. But now let's just kind of dive into the story a little bit. And I will say my notes on this were pretty bad. So I'll be relying on maybe some memory beta notes to kind of help me fill in the blanks. I started this on the 27th of February, and as I said, just finished it just a few moments ago here tonight. So what do you have with the empty chair? You have the conclusion of a cliffhanger. The last book, which was Honor Blade, left off with uh, Kirk in the Enterprise with AL in the Bloodwing, basically warping off from the last engagement with the Romulans. The Federation has officially declared war on the Romulans, and they are headed off towards one of the outer systems now, the Artile system, where there is basically like the rebellion there has started with the free Rihannsu people. Put your hands down. Anyway, so that's where the book starts. They head towards Artile, where they are met with their first engagement with the Romulan Grand Fleet there. And it goes fairly well at first, and they're able to, through their kind of advanced knowledge, coming into the system, able to set up themselves within this asteroid field there and just make it so that they're able to take out these ships as they come in. With some fancy flying from Sulu and some interesting stuff with some asteroids that they do. They're able to defeat the first group of Romulans that come in, but then they are ambushed then by a group of Klingons who are coming in to kind of be opportunistic and take advantage of the situation. They're saved there at the last moment by this fantastically giant world ship called the Tyreva, which has been built by another disaffected Romulan colony, and they are basically from the clan of the shipbuilders, who were the original ones who built the ships that took them from Vulcan to where they are now. So they've kind of in secret been building these large ships as they've become more and more, disaffected with the Empire. So they were saved by the Tyreva, which has this incredible weaponry, which basically vaporized these Klingon ships. So now they're at the point where basically Kirk is appointed kind of like the de facto admiral of this fleet that they're building to take back, Romulus for the people, basically. Their next target is this kind of system between where they're at now and the center, Romulus, Chiron, and Chaharan. But so they begin these kind of immense battle plans with Kirk kind of playing the role of he's like the admiral of the whole fleet, in setting up all these battle plans with all these ships, and everyone kind of falls in line, I guess, understanding that his tactics are going to be the one to get them through all of this. So now they also bring back, thankfully in this book, the character of Arhe, who is the kind of the undercover operative who's been elevated to the rank of senator with the Romulans, but now she has kind of come to, and I think it's kind of they know about it on the Enterprise too, but the Sunseed Project, which is used to kind of seed a star and then create like this big giant ion storm and create havoc among your enemies there, has advanced. And now apparently they have what's called like a Nova Bomb, and they've launched it towards Earth's sun. And once there, it will transport itself inside the sun, detonate, and destroy our sun, and destroy our world. And Arhe has found out about this, and basically this was a plan by like the three or a couple of the main Romulan triumvirate, the Praetors up there, and they've done this, and it goes against all sense of basic honor. So you do have some that are kind of going against it, but she is able to get a message to the Enterprise, or to the Federation basically, about the imminent threat, so they can begin to work on a solution to the problem. So you have these kind of two different things going on within the story. You have kind of Kirk and AL planning the invasion of the home worlds and the attack there, but then you also have in the background this kind of looming threat of this Nova Bomb on its way towards Earth. It's cloaked. They can't send a message to Earth directly, so they send one kind of through from Spock to Sarek with some encrypted message there. So you have Scotty and Anyway, the Homolkan scientists working together on a solution to defeat this Nova bomb. And what they come up with is basically they have to kind of seed a similar star right when it's happening to their star, and then they can like work the two together to cancel the effect out. And so that's the plan that they're working on, while Jim and AL and everybody else is kind of preparing the main battle plan for the attack against the homeworlds there. So they have, like I said, they have another place they have to attack. It's called Algo, kind of between one point and the other. So that's the next big battle. So they get to that battle and they do well. They win. There is another even bigger city ship that comes in, I think, at this point, that kind of adds to their numbers, along with more captured ships. So, you know, their fleet just keeps growing and growing and growing. All of the stuff written as far as the space battles is done really well. Diane Duane always does just like a great job, I guess, translating like that action. I mean, it reads well. You know, it doesn't come off as like clunky or anything like that. So I was really able to get into all those space battles very well. There's definitely a lot that I'm going to leave out here as we talk about it, because I can't go into the whole thing, but just so many little nuances between McCoy and AL, and just all these little kind of personal interactions that have been building up, you know, in these past 5 books, are just kind of all brought to a head here at this. So, at the battle at Algo, things are kind of not going the best for them when they are saved kind of right at the end by the Federation fleet that comes in. When that comes in, though, one of the Federation ships is lost, along with like the main Commodore of that. But thanks to their coming in, and also because of Arhe's work kind of on the inside, getting forces diverted another way, they're able to turn that battle in their favor, win, and continue their trek towards the homeworlds to retake them. And they come up with this battle plan, basically, that they have to establish like space superiority, and then they will shut down all transporter functions so that no one can escape, and then just send in ground troops, you know, for the victory from these giant world ships that they have. And basically everything kind of goes perfectly according to plan. And I guess it's kind of one of the things that that she stresses on in this book is, you know, his planning and like his like over planning of the thing. And they even kind of make a joke of it at one point, like, you better stop or we're going to come up there and hit you with a hammer, you know. Like, he just is continually going over battle plans. And him is Kirk, of course, over and over again to make sure they've got it just right. So as they're going through like these different battles, he's like calling out all these different, okay, the situation's changed, now we're going to go to plan C, plan D, plan E, you know, one to the other. And it's just very well done. And it just kind of rolls through, and you have this battle won basically kind of before it was started, it almost seems, because it was all just like so perfectly planned out. And even when little surprises are thrown at them, they've got like, they have it set up and ready. Like they have a contingency for that as well. So they're able to make it to the homeworlds, take care of the Grand Fleet headquarters, beam down as they need to. When they beam down to the planet, they find that basically on the planet, because of, you know, Arhe's work and just general the feeling of the people towards the government, a lot of work has already been done for them. So it's not so hard for them to win the ground war down there, kind of take back the capital land. I thought they would do more with like punishing the big 3, but they kind of leave them out. And in favor at the end is more just kind of showing the dragging out the conclusion, which I think that she did really well anyway. So in the end, they get to the capital there, and they're able to get to the Senate. And right when they get to the Senate, and like basically the battle's already been won on the ground, and they don't even really go into that in the book at all. They don't have to. They don't need to. They find out that the Nova bomb is imminently ready to hit Earth. So something has to be done. So quickly, Jim and crew head back up to the ship where they can enact the only plan that they have, which is basically to seed Eisen, which is Romulus' star, and kind of connect the two somehow so that they can shut down the effect. So, in what is a very nail-biting and well-written final couple of chapters, Scotty, Kutsilk, and Artile, the Romulan engineer, kind of all work together to stop the Nova bomb from succeeding. And it's just really, really well done. So I did like that part a lot at the very end. And I think even that part, like this kind of like scientific end, was funner than like the space battle previous end before that. So that was an excellent way to kind of wrap everything up. But it's not really like the end, because the end is really what happens with AL. Because basically this has been 5 books about her and her character. So in the end, she's thrust into the position that she doesn't want to get into, of course, which is to be the Empress. And as kind of it's always said, like the people that are best for those kind of positions are the ones that don't want them in the first place. So she's kind of thrust into being the Empress of the Romulan people and has the kind of hard job ahead of her now to rebuild the Romulan people. So that's where the book ends up. Kirk actually gets a little kiss at the end, which was kind of surprising, but you could kind of see it coming all throughout the book that there was something a little bit more than just kind of a friendship and like a loyalty and a camaraderie between them. But like they were very much like equals, you know. In the end, you could kind of see that. Except now, of course, she is the Empress of the Romulan Empire and have risen quite above him. So just a really, really fun book. And a really fun whole saga to get into. And it gives me a completely different perspective on the Romulan people, which is awesome. So, so glad that I was able to get into that. And happy to be able to sit down here and talk with all you about that. Now, where do we go from here? I have been living in the world of the original series for well over a month now. So, we are going to do something different. And next will be something new. So, one of the newer Trek novels here, Star Trek Picard, Second Self, by Una McCormack. So, this looks pretty good. I like the character Raffi, so I'll be interested to see what's happened to her between seasons 2 and 3 of Picard. And it'll be nice to get just kind of, I guess, something different, a little bit of a break from the world of the TOS crew. So, thank you all so much for watching my little rant here about The Empty Chair, the excellent conclusion to the Rihannsu Saga. And we'll be talking about more Trek stuff here in the future. And, oh boy, if you haven't, watch those first 4 episodes of Picard Season 3 because they are top-notch. And I think I want to talk about those soon, too. So, again, thank you all so much for watching. Live long and prosper. And we'll see you all in the next one. Bye. Oh, no. My mouse battery is dying. Bye.